Well, good morning everybody and welcome. I've just witnessed nearly a hole-in-one. These boys behind me, obviously regulars, playing the second hole through there, and he's just pinged it through the trees, around the bunker, and it literally lipped out and went to about 3 feet. Now don't get me wrong, it was actually the hole that I got my first hole-in-one on, that second hole, when I was a kid. However, the trees were whips at the time, so I don't know how they've managed to meander their way through the mounds, the big trees that we've got now, and then get it on the green. Welcome to the Sunday morning show, and welcome to Cayman Golf, where I'm here because my short game is in a state that I never thought it would ever get to, really. So I need to spend some more time on it. Got a couple of different wedges in the bag, having a little play around. I thought today we'd have a little chat about short game, but also a few other points that I want to have a little chat about as well. I've got some different drivers that I'm testing, not necessarily different heads, but different shafts. I've got some ideas. I've had some chats with some people that know what they're talking about when it comes to golf clubs and shafts and drivers. So I'm going to test those out. And then I also want to get on to the subject of the game of golf, the price of the game of golf, and see what you guys think about that. But let's work our way around the golf course. Before we move on, what do you think I'm going to shoot for 9 holes? Under par, level par, over par? Let's get out there. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, there's the first birdie. I think it's a par 4. Well, I hear what you're saying. Dan, what is going on with your short game right now? It honestly feels like I have almost forgotten how to chip and pitch. And I think I'm getting myself into such a fluster. I've got the club face wide open a lot of the time. My alignment has been shocking right the way through my game. And that's been pointed out to me by not only Joe the Pro this week at the Vale of Glamorgan. Lovely strike, bit right though, towards that trap.
I ever think you just set up a bit extreme sometimes. I mean, you're thinking I want to turn that in. You're aiming right trees there.
Beat. With what?
Like you're thinking I'm going to draw this, so you're like, the setup gets quite extreme, I think. Like whereas if you set up to the right edge of the green there, yeah, to draw it.
But I think it's because my own alignment's a bit
squiffy.
No, as in like I can't see it with my eyes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like to me, you look at that and go, oh, that wasn't a good shot. I'm looking at that going,
strike.
He's flushed it where he's aiming and it's turned over a touch, but he was just aiming 30 right of the green, like, just looked very extreme.
When did you go into coaching anyway?
Joe the Pro, mate. Versatile.
Where's that?
Right bunker. Right, now you've just moved more.
Wow.
That is now.
So I feel like I'm aiming in these trees here.
Okay, well, let me just show you. Stick.
Look at this.
Come here now.
Oh, even that's.
So parallel to that, you're still.
Still
do you know what I mean?
that ball.
So I just look at you and think, like, you're in loads of good shots, that you're just flashing down your target line that are ending up miles right.
Can't believe how far right that's left.
Love how Paul's holding his tongue. Yeah, that's on the stick now. Beautiful.
Look at that, eh?
Like, you're welcome. Joe the Pro just helping golfers.
Look at that.
Settings,
we'll take that one.
Setups.
So where can everyone book in with you, Joe?
Just call me. 0800 JTP.
JTP.
0800, I'm not available. Just aiming way right, club face wide open, and you got to remember I'm somebody that generally flicks at the ball a little bit. So therefore my club face stays open at address, and then I kind of square it up by flicking at it on the way through, which is making my hands quite active through the ball. So I'm just trying to get myself into a position where I feel like I can probably, I don't know, keep that club face just a little bit, almost feels like it's pointing slightly left on me, so pointing down the left hand side, but then almost get the sensation trying to almost hold it off as I kind of come through, rather than sort of being open and then almost having to flick it through. Maybe not so much with chipping, but certainly from pitching. But if I can start by getting the feeling of having that club face a little bit more closed, a bit strong, but then I can start to get the visuals of what it actually looks like down by the ball, with a face that looks a little bit more, almost a little bit closed compared to the open face position. Your eyes kind of get used to it, you know. It's quite interesting. When I had my eyes, oh, good job I can putt, lasered, it was almost like a reboot for me, because a lot of the time when you look down on top, certainly from a putting point of view, when you look down, sometimes when you get the ball lined up to the hole and the sort of putter line lined up to the ball, lots of players can get the sense that they're almost like aiming left a little bit. I've never heard anyone say that they aim right or they feel like they aim right. They kind of look down over the ball, and then the feeling is that they look like they're aiming slightly left hand side, which is exactly how I would get to my position. I would set up with the line on the ball, I would then set up with the line on the putter to that ball, and then when I set up to the actual golf ball down just before I hit the putt, I would get a feeling that I was aiming a bit too far left and then have to almost like readjust. But when I got my eyes lasered, it was like a reboot. As soon as I put that ball down with the line of the putter, absolutely plumb square. Perfect. Oh, putting is lethal. Absolutely lethal. Listening to a podcast the other day with Justin Thomas, PGA Tour player Justin Thomas. He's had to have a couple of moles removed recently because he's not got enough factor 50 put on, which is what I use. And I use the spray ones because you're not having to then rub it in and get it all over your hands. It's perfect for on the golf course, and I just go to like Aldi, cheap. I don't know how good it is, but it keeps me covered. And certainly something we should all be doing. Should be talked about a lot more, I think, in the big media world, because it is something that golfers need to keep an eye on. Over the top of the trees then, come on, 56, face square, ball position slightly further back, smooth, he does it. Oh, sit down. Sit. Oh, that's okay. A little left again, but not bad. So what's great about editing is you get to kind of watch yourself, like an out-of-body experience, sort of sat up on the hill watching yourself play golf, which not everybody gets to do that, I suppose. And I was doing some editing the other day from Fox Hills, where I was playing with Jason Kokrak, a PGA Tour player, now Live player. And I was we had the same shot, a little pitch shot, 60 yards to the flag. And I noticed that he was a lot more open than I was at setup. And the good thing about being open at setup is it allows you to be able to rotate better through the ball. But you could see that his club face was square to, if anything, left of target. So he's trying to maximise the spin on the ball. If you think about it, if you come in with an open club face, you're just adding lots of loft, and you're getting then deflection off the club face, which then you kind of lose that traction on the ball, getting the spin that you need. And I was like aiming not as far left as him, still slightly left, but not aiming as far left as him, as you'll see from the footage I put up. And then my face is easily, you can see that my face is wide open. And I just like waft it out to the right, come up short, because if I'm standing there with a 60-degree wedge, I'm probably delivering 70 degrees aloft by the time I hit impact. Whereas he's, all right, he didn't quite catch it how he wanted it, but he got it on target. It was heading towards the flag, had all the sort of penetration, and, well, not quite the spin, but penetration that he wanted out of the shot. Whereas mine was very wafty and out to the right, which I'm seeing a lot when I'm out playing. Spin, what killed it? Oof. Love that shot, dead arm shot, love that shot. Up and down machine. So back to the pitching. So that means I've got to get my club face more at the target. So a good way is to just pick a little spot in front, get the club face lined up to that point, Then he had himself a little bit more open than I did, and certainly from what Joe said, I was aiming a bit too far right with my feet, so having it there, and then the key is to now turn through and hold the face. That's the key. How far have I got? 40 yards. Nice DH. Still doesn't feel perfect, but nice. Confidence is growing. Can I chip this in? Right, I'm going to play a little, what I call a little draw chip shot, which is something that I think Zach talked about when we were down at the Vale as well, which I never got around to sort of talking about, so I'm going to just try it here. So I'm basically going to aim my face pretty much at target, and then I'm going to bring it more inside and then away, and that's going to feel like I'm swinging it into out a little bit, and then that should put a little bit of draw spin on the ball. And there you go, just didn't check up on me, which is spot on. Another save.
The other night, saw you glance your everlasting light. Met your eyes, razor sharp, cut through the
Oh, that is clutch. Absolutely no idea whether my short game's getting better or I'm just holding everything. Down there in the comments, what do you think? I think it might be the putting, to be honest. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, crikey, look out. Look out. I'm off. Okay, same shot again, 56-degree wedge. Just almost pop it forward this time. It's sat down a little bit more now. Can we actually chip one in today? Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
Right then, we are.
What have we got? How did I get on?
It looks like you did quite well, to be fair. Steady.
Steady?
Steady start.
Okay.
And then...
Because I did jump around a bit because he got a bit busy out there.
Things got going on the third, I think. So you
Did
had
it?
1 under, 2 under, 3 under, 4 under,
Yeah.
5 under, and an eagle on 18.
Eagle to finish, yeah.
7 under.
7 under.
7 under.
So if you put that I was 7 under, you'd have been winning today's competition.
Would you?
How would I have got on in the Cayman Cup, do you think, amongst the juniors?
I think you'd have got top 5. Definitely.
Would I?
Yeah.
Definitely,
Probably
yeah.
solid top 5.
But I'd need, but that's only 9 holes, isn't it? They're playing 18.
They're playing it, yeah. So you still need to go out and do a little bit more. Really.
Okay, Cayman Cup is the under 10s?
Under 10s, yeah. Under 9s,
Okay.
maybe, yeah. So you've done well.
Top 5. All
But
right.
you've still got a little bit.
Of work to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Well, I'll be back then.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
However, that short game done. Thank you very much to
No
you.
worries.
Thank you very much to Cayman for allowing
Pleasure
me
as
out.
always.
And I'm going up the practice ground now to work on my driving.
Okay, good luck with that.
Cheers.
See you later.
So what am I up to when it comes to my driver? Well, I was at the practice ground the other day and I was putting in some dedicated time, which I promised myself I would do a little bit more of it. I was hitting some drivers up here, and my good friend Ian, who is the Srixon rep on the tour van, so when Bernie and I go up to the Open, we go and see Ian up on the tour van there, and it was Srixon. He came over because he was just going down to do some chipping, and he said to me, Dan, look, I've been watching you hit a few balls now, and maybe just the shaft combination of that head and everything just doesn't quite look right for you. You look like you're swinging it good, but it's just looking like you're not getting that club head to the ball as consistent as what you possibly should. So he dived into his car, brought out his driver, which was the ZX7, Srixon ZX7. His is a 10.5, and he's got a Ventus 70 gram stiff flex. Now what he was saying was that flex, when it comes to the weight of the club, isn't going to change a great deal. But what is going to change quite a lot is the torque of the club. So as the club comes through impact, it's going to do less twisting if you go for a kind of heavier shaft. Even though, and again, it will feel a little bit different as in weight-wise. But the other thing that I found really interesting, what he was talking about, was the average tour length of shaft for tour players is around 45 inches long, okay? Now, if you think about TaylorMade, their driver's 46 inches long. This one is 44.5 inches. Now, I'm only like 5'8.5". Let's go with half. In a cold day, might go to 5'8". On a really warm day like today, I might be 5'9". However, 44.5 inch, I had a go with it, and it just felt so good in my hands. And the first few shots that I hit with it, bang, I didn't miss it. And not only that, the feedback that I got from that club that he had was just, as soon as I hit it, I knew kind of where it had gone. I knew where the miss had gone or whether it had gone straight. I could almost like tell you where it was. And that's getting massive feedback from the club. And the other drivers that I was testing up here at 44 or 45 and 3/4 inch and 46 inch, I just wasn't getting that feel. It just felt like I wasn't getting control over the head. And I've done some more experiments since then, because I took this away with me. Let me borrow this one because it's his sort of spare one. And it just feels so good to me. So what I've done, I've taken some of my kind of older shafts, should we say, that fit in like my Titleist drivers. This one's a 65 gram Tensai white. I've used this for a long time. Some of you will have noticed me using it when I was using my TSI driver. We put this one in when I was at the Woburn Centre. And again, I've cut this one down. I haven't tested it all yet, but I've cut this one down and spec'd it up at 44.5 inch. I also used to use, years ago, a Diamana 70 gram. This is when I thought I could swing it a bit harder. So I've actually taken this one and brought it down to 44.5 inch as well. And obviously being 70 gram, there'll be a little bit less sort of twisting or torque in it. And then the Tensai 1K black that they sent me, this is the one that just didn't quite feel right. It's a 65 gram S. And again, I've just brought this one down from probably 45.75 down to 44.5 inch. So we're going to give them a little rip on the range now and just get a sense of how they feel. Oh, so good again, same flight. So it all feels good. However, swing weight wise, it just feels really light, so I can't really feel the head too much. Again, just almost feel like shortening the club just made the whole thing feel a little bit lighter. So I'm taking out their kind of like standard weight, and I'm just going to put in like an extra few grams. So I'm going to pop this, give me a bit more weight in the back of it. Yeah, that feels, that just feels like I got a bit more weight in the head of the club. This is the TSR2. So much better at the bottom. Just feel it. I can feel myself almost like just squaring it up a little bit. And to be honest with you, I know that I'm tinkering around here with different feels and different sensations when it comes to length and obviously weight. And this is something that you need to be doing more with your pro really, or a decent club fitter. You know, me just chatting with these guys, I've got knowledge, but not loads of knowledge like Joe the pro has, or my friend Ian. But when you talk and feel clubs, talk about them and feel the clubs, you start to get a sense of what feels right for you and doesn't feel right. But that feels really good. Need to measure it a bit more, but I feel like we're starting to get the right combo. And like I say, tinker is one thing, but having the right knowledge and right help, like I've had, is another thing. So if you're going to go through this process, make sure that you get somebody to look at you as you go through it. And it kind of almost like jumps out to me like, is there enough good club fitters and builders in the UK? We do these fittings, we go through these processes with these companies, which I think are fantastic and get us to a point. But if you want to dive just that little bit deeper, maybe we need to open up a few more of those around the country that can really help us dial those numbers in. Now, the last interesting subject that I want to talk about this week on the Sunday morning show is price. Had a couple of videos gone out recently, which was last week the Ping putter that Harry wanted to get some things off his chest, and then the week before I think we did the Titleist GT drivers and fairways. Again, price being a major discussion point on the channel, but not only on the channel, on the social media world as well. People saying that the price of it has got too much. £550 for a putter, £580, £600 for a driver. So I'd like to hear what you think about that, but I don't think that it's just golf equipment. I think if we look at the way in which golf clubs kind of are positioning themselves when it comes to green fees now, I do get the comments down from social and on the channel that say, do you know what, I'm just not going to go and pay £95 for a round of golf or £250 for a round of golf. I'm just not going to do it. And I get it, I understand it. What I do think is the boom of golf that we got in COVID times pushed clubs to a point where they were possibly, I don't know, oversubscribed, let's say, and therefore repositioning their subscriptions, but repositioning their green fees as well. At the end of the day, if their golf club is full from a subscription point of view, a membership point of view, then do they need as many green fee payers on the golf course, so less people charge just a little bit more? And I think that possibly what you're going to find, and don't mark me on this, but I think possibly you're going to see that those green fees will come down over time, because I think the supply and demand is starting to drop a little bit, and I think that you're going to find that resorts are possibly seeing a downturn in the amount of people that are sort of staying and playing. You know, the corridor back to Europe has opened up. You can fly everywhere you want to go, and people are getting more confident to go abroad and do all that. So in the UK, I think you're going to start to see a few more deals out there. But I'd like to hear what you think about that. Have you seen some very expensive rounds of golf that you think maybe that's just a little bit too much? And also, what do you think about the equipment side of things? Now, this week, as I said earlier, myself, Joe the Pro, my brother Paul, and Zach Gould met up at the Vale Resort. Got an invite up from the Vale Resort because we did a bus tour up there, and they said, why not come back and vlog the course and showcase the facilities? And unfortunately the weather wasn't great. We got up there and got rained off after 9 holes on day 1, and then it was a little bit wet in the morning on day 2, but we managed to get 18 holes done in day 2. And I also got a really good, interesting podcast done with Zach Gould, an amazing story, on one of which you'll be interested to hear about, I'm sure. Vale Glamorgan celebrating 25 years going this year. Just a really solid resort. 2 fantastic golf courses. One that's a bit of a beast in the National, but then if you want something that's just a little bit more relaxing, then you've got the Lakes course there as well, which I actually really enjoyed. I think the Lakes course is a fantastic, I don't know if you can call it the second course, but it's a fantastic course to line up with their National. Great facilities, great people, fantastic staff on site to look after you. So if you are interested in going to look at the Vale, make sure you go and check it out. This week on the channel, not sure if I'm going to put out Shooters Hill or Crowborough. Got the last 2 to go out for those. I've got lots of editing to do next week. We've got lots of videoing to do with Jordan on the foremost side of things, and then the week after I'm going to be away in France with the family and cannot wait to get a bit of chill time. However, my plan is to put together a Sunday morning show for you next week. Not sure what that's going to be on, but we will see. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Don't forget to comment down below if there's anything that jumps out to you from this video. And I will see you again. I'll see you again very soon.